will have our first student panel. I would like to invite on stage Ha, Evangeline, Choco, and Trish.
I've learned a lot, and it's hard to, being put on the spot, it's hard to kind of remember everything, but I learned that the biggest thing that I learned is that all the countries across the world are going through something similar, and I have to thank Sanjeet and everyone up here. You really brought in my perspective on what reconciliation is and what it looks like within our different communities, whether it's here in Canada, or India, or anywhere else. So thank you.
I had no idea how, like the journey that I was in, and to think about now, I actually came from the process of being ignorant until my realization of what really happened and what the issues are, and also leading me to have the awareness of what we can do, for example.
I've learned so much being part of this group. We went to the TRC in Victoria, and it was amazing because we got to be a part of these conversations that I never thought I would be a part of, and it was a really great experience to have that voice and to be able to say things that were meaningful to you.
It shouldn't just be on Indigenous people to tell Indigenous stories. I know that Indigenous people need to tell Indigenous stories in their own way, but Indigenous people shouldn't be responsible for educating all Canadians about their own culture. All Canadians should want to know about this, about these conversations that we're having here today. And Indigenous perspectives should be way more represented in media of all kinds. And I don't know, I'd really love to see a future where media is less white, where there are producers and people on film crews and people who are creating great things, who are telling it in their own way, in their own voices.
If Indigenous perspectives is not a part of our education system at a university level as well, not just the school level, then our Canadian education is incomplete.
Reflecting on how to integrate truth and reconciliation into our personal, professional, and student life, I think what's really important is when you encompass it and don't divide and put on your reconciliation hat when you go to work and then you take it off when you come home. It's a choice to really shift how you think, shift how you are, shift your understanding and your perspective, and really take a step back and think about what got you here. And it's uncomfortable, it's unsettling, it's uneasy to really have these conversations that make us look at our previous experiences. Why haven't we as a country learned about the history? Why haven't we learned about the trauma as well, but then the Indigenous culture extends beyond that trauma? Why haven't we been learning about the beauty in it, the teachings that have kept this territory thriving and alive for so long? Why haven't we learned that either? And I think that, a part of the reconciliation process is really reconciling with ourselves and coming to terms with the fact that we, haven't been able to learn these things, but the time is now. There's no reason while people can say, oh, well, I didn't have a chance to learn that. So it's everywhere. Look for it. Look for opportunities to open and expand your mind and also open your heart. It's not easy to sit in these rooms where people are sharing their difficult experiences. That takes courage. takes a lot of courage. And you know, when you're sitting in the same room, you start to feel their pain. You cry when they cry. Sometimes, not always. And it's unsettling. But that's okay, it's a part of the process.
I'm the Director of Aboriginal Education and Engagement here at Vancouver Island University. And the event tonight was fabulous. It was a student engagement group, so it was an accumulation of 8 months of students, Indigenous students, non-Indigenous students, domestic students, international students coming together to share their perspectives on history and on reconciliation and conversations that have been just enriched throughout the year. And so the students wanted to be able to give back and share what they've been learning along the way to their community. So it was a great night of celebration where the students shared on panels, and we had rich conversations in table groups and sang songs, and we've been here with a pretty happy heart. So.
I started with the Circle back in September, and we held our first meeting here in this building. And to be now almost in April at the end of the year, I don't know, it just feels incredible, the journey that the group has gone on together, and to see everything come together in such a beautiful event with so many great people involved. I just feel really lucky and really honored to be a part of that in whatever capacity I could. I definitely want to say thank you to Sharon Obenshield and Uncle Gary and everybody else who was involved in facilitating the group, and everybody who showed up to make this event happen. It's been a really amazing night.
My name is Saz, and I am in a Health Helper group, and it's such an honor for me to attend the event today. Initially, I was a little bit afraid that I couldn't understand the whole story, but I was impressed because it's not about the language, it's about the emotion and passion that people try to spread, to transfer to other people. So yeah, I was amazed at how Indonesian people's kindness that actually overcome the language barrier, and really touching. Thank you for inviting me today.
I really enjoyed the event. I thought the event was meaningful, and I really enjoyed hearing about the stories. And I think that's the most important thing one should take away, that storytelling is important and many stories have to be heard. And when it comes to the issue of truth and reconciliation, it's a story, or it's a factor where everybody is involved and everybody has to share meaningful contributions towards it, whether you were involved in it or not. It's something that we all have to be a part of.
My name is Hao, and this event is a great, I think it's a great event for me because I get to know more about the Indigenous culture, and through the stories of all the international students and the First Nation people, I feel that it's connected to my culture, the Vietnamese culture, because in a way, the indigenous culture is related because as Vietnamese, we used to try to destroy the ethnicities groups in our countries. So after hearing their stories, I feel that they are very connected, and I love to do something about this current situation back in my country. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lenka, and I'm an international student here at VIU. And when I came here about a year ago, I did one exercise, the KRS blanket exercise, that was supposed to introduce us to this whole Native community. But at that time, I wasn't really ready to know what it really means. And then since then, I wasn't exposed to the First Nations communities at all. And I was just lately thinking that I keep hearing about First Nations and this and that, but I'm never part of it, and I feel like I want to know more, and I want to have friends who are First Nations, and I want to know more about the community firsthand. So my friend invited me to this event this evening, and I'm really glad because it got me a little bit closer to what I wanted. I'm still way far to really knowing what this is all about, the truth and reconciliation. But I feel like there's so much more that I want to know, and I want to come to more of these events and just like spread the word.
Hey, I'm Nathan Brass. Very grateful to be a part of this event. The main thing I believe I took away from here was just that when people come together and you take that opportunity to open your ears and open your heart and listen, right? It was great to see, from young little girl all the way up to, elders, and everybody sharing and everybody listening and talking. And I think that's really great. The one takeaway, I believe, the word I heard the most, something that always seems to resonate with me here, was the word of resilience. And I can't even articulate right now exactly how resilient these people have been, and the stories, and the resilience through the generations, but just the word resilience really stands out in my heart.
I love this event. Really neat that the community came together, Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. I think the important conversation is to see how we can all contribute to this conversation around truth and reconciliation and hold space for each other. And after leaving this, I will take the responsibility to constantly remind myself of the realities other people go through and how I can be of service to the community and